week so far. Probably the end of the week because it's Thursday. So thanks for joining us, taking your time today. I am going to share my screen so that way you can see the slides. We will be sharing the slides as well, correct, Sarah? I'll send them to you after I'm done here today.
Yes, we'll distribute the slides and the recording, and then make sure you're checking your junk or spam folder because sometimes our Women's Business Center email, which is what it will come from, goes in people's junk or spam. So just a little tip in case you don't see it in your inbox.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Also, during this presentation, I'll be taking questions. I'm going to stop and see if there's any questions in the chat. Go ahead and put any questions that you have there going forward, and I'll answer them, or you can email me afterwards as well if you have any questions. There's also a lot of information online on our website that you can get this information from as well, but you can reach out at any time. And you can also put questions into the chat. So welcome today, everybody. This is Access to Capital for Small Businesses. This is presented by us here at California Capital. I'm part of the loan department, and I am the loan portfolio manager. I've done other things within the program as well. So I believe that's going to be helpful to you as well, especially for startup businesses, existing businesses, and so on. I think all the information we're going to have here today is really pertinent to everybody. So thank you again for joining us. Today we're going to be going to go through some FAQs, where to get money, start and grow your business, California Capital's own programs, knowing your credit, the basics of a loan request, business plan, cash flow projections, a lender's needs list, and loan review process. Some of these items here, topics today, you may have never heard before, and some you have. So we're going to go over it. And like I said, if you have any questions, please go ahead and put it in the chat, and I'd be happy to cover it. First thing we get asked a lot is, can I get a grant to start my business? And in these days, I have not seen any grants for startup businesses. So, but definitely reach out to your local city, county, and chamber of commerce. There might be something new that just came out. A business wants to give money towards other businesses, those types of things. So it's always a great thing to go ahead and look, because there just might be some funds there. I've been in business for over 2 years or less than 2 years. Is there any grant money out there? There might be. There might be some. I've seen Verizon send out emails to us to send out to all the folks in our programs stating that they have a $10,000 grant, but you do have to do things to get there. You have to apply, and then you have to take some classes, and then you have to graduate from those classes to be able to qualify for that grant. So there is grant money out there. You do have to search sometimes for it, but at the local city, county, chamber of commerce, and also the WBC, you can reach out to them. We usually have stuff online as well on our website. So that's great resources to get some more information. I constantly look, and if you're not part of our newsletter, please go ahead and get onto our newsletter, because that information will also be there too. Where to get money to start or grow your business? I mean, this is a great question, because this is where, even if you're expanding your business, where do you get the funds to do this? Now, we're first looking at your savings. And the reasons why we're looking at your savings is because even if you do get a loan, the lenders, including ourselves, is going to look for what we call an injection. So some of your money into the project as well. So savings is first. Gifted or loaned by family or friends. Funds borrowed personally, usually through a credit card or home equity line of credit. Investor financing, meaning an equity partner is going to come in and help finance your needs. A business loan, so you can go to a regular bank, a credit union, who may also use the assistance of the SBA funds or the state loan guarantee program. Then there's lenders like us, non-traditional lenders, micro lenders that, they can fund between $5,000 and $350,000. So it really depends on who you're working with out there on non-traditional lenders, on how much, what's the minimum and a maximum that they will lend. Also, we, like other non-traditional lenders, provide loans and technical assistance, which we also call TA. Or they're required to have technical assistance with that loan that you're getting. Non-traditional lenders do not offer checking and savings accounts like your regular banks and your credit unions. So that's how we also differ. The lending programs that we have here, I'm part of the direct lending program, and our loans can go up to $150,000, and that's for startups or existing businesses in the Sacramento, Yolo, Placer, El Dorado, and Nevada counties. So we are limited in where we can fund on some of our loan programs. And then we have another one that goes up to $50,000, and that's in Northern California counties. So specific counties, they come and go, so please check our website for that most up-to-date information, or just reach out to us and we'll be happy to help you and let you know what programs or what counties are available at that point in time. And then also we are working with the city of Lodi, and the city of Lodi has a hometown loan program up to $50,000. So they have special terms also. So if you're in the city of Lodi, please reach out to us as well, or go online and we'll be happy to help walk you through that. And you can register for any lending needs at www.cacapital.org under the lending programs. And then please take note, the availability of capital increases and decreases throughout the months, depending on how much money we have to lend. Right now, we have a good amount of money to lend, so please reach out to us and let us help you through the process. We also, so this is kind of getting into the nitty gritty of our direct lending program. So details and fees and loan eligibility. I'm going to go to loan eligibility first on the right-hand side. So we don't have a minimum FICO score, but we are looking for your credit story and your credit history, meaning that all debt should be paid current. So anything that's not paid current, sorry, all debt should be current. And if you've had any issues in the past, just write us a letter and explain to us exactly what happened in the past. So say you accidentally didn't pay a credit card and it was skipped for a month or two and things happen, right? But now you've set that to automatic payment. So at least it's paying the minimum payment every single month. And if you wanted to pay additional, that's fine as well. But you're letting us know what you've done to stop that issue. Now, if we see reoccurring issues throughout the years, then there will need to be more explanation. If we see a good amount of time where that has stopped and you've been paying on time and paying your debt, then that is another good thing. You'll tell us what happened in the past. Maybe there was a medical issue, you lost your job, those types of things, and explain to us what happened, and then explain to us what's currently going on with your credit. So we don't have a minimum FICO score, but we do require that your debt is paid current and explanation of any bad debt in the past. Industry experience and knowledge for startups is required. So if you have a startup, and there's quite a few of you in this group, which is fine, you can still get lending, but you would need industry experience and knowledge. And if we can go into more specifics later on in regards to that. Also, you'll need secondary source of income for a startup, and we'll go into that a little bit more as well. And then up to 20% of equity injection for startups. As I stated before, the equity injection that expected by lenders. So ours is up to 20%. And that would be your savings, or if you were given money by family or friends, you can use that money as well. And then you would need to personally guarantee the loan, meaning the business is going to take the loan, but you're personally guaranteeing if the loan cannot be paid by the business, that you would be able to pay this loan off. And then some of the details on our fees. So our terms are up to 7 years, depending on the loan amount and the use of funds. Our interest rate at this point in time is up to 9.75% fixed. Application fee is $100, and the loan packaging fee is 3% of the loan amount. Documentation fee is $150, also due at time of funding. And then no prepayment penalty. So you can pay off your loan if you decide in a year, 2 years, 3 years, and you have a 5-year loan or 7-year loan to pay it off early, that is fine. There's no penalties in that whatsoever. Just reach out to us, let us know that you're ready to pay it off, and we'll get you the paperwork to be able to do so. You are able to roll the fees that are above into your loan. So we can take that amount out of your loan and pay off the fees. The $100 is upfront though, so that cannot be rolled into your fees. Then we also have the state loan guarantee program. Now, the state loan guarantee program, it's usually for already existing businesses. Those are the ones that I see mostly, but there are some startups, but it's not significantly used for startups. This is used for existing businesses from what I have seen. Our loan guarantee program helps secure financing for small businesses that otherwise could not qualify for a traditional loan. But you would go to the bank and then the bank would use that guarantee. Now, it's not a guaranteed loan to you. It is a guarantee to the bank. Say, if they didn't have this guarantee, they would not normally be able to fund the loan. But because the guarantee, it's helping shore up the loan. And that's the reason why they're going to be able to do this. And we have max guarantees, and max loan amount and fees. But just please take notice that this is not a guaranteed loan for you because it is confusing the way this is worded. You would still need to qualify with your bank to be able to get this loan guarantee. In the direct lending, these are some of the types of loans that we've been able to fund so far. So I'm going to let you know what we've done in the past and currently doing. So a film production company, we're able to provide them equipment, money, lease down payment, and small build down of the property that they leased. A kettle corn company, new food trailer equipment and inventory they use the funds for. Cosmetics company for inventory and working capital. At-home senior care, a startup for startup expenses. I did see somebody here that wants to do senior transportation, so that's great. CPA firm, purchasing retiring CPA's business. We also do that too. Say you already have an existing, your insurance agent, CPA, you want to buy somebody else's book of business as well. We're able to do that. A restaurant, maybe renovations, equipment, or working capital. And this, we also helped a Sacramento barber with working capital expenses, equipment, and to fund the expansion. So those are some great things we've been able to do so far, and many more. But this is just a taste of what we've been doing these last several years. Do we have any questions? I don't know if I saw any pop up or not. And Sarah, I don't know if you can see any. The way my screen is right now, I can't see the chat or the.
Let me check. My internet went out for a second and I had to join on my phone, but let me look in the chat. Someone said, I have a retail shop that's been in business for over 2 years, but we haven't built our business credit yet. Would we still be eligible for a loan if we meet all the other requirements?
I'm sorry, what was that again, Sarah?
It says, I have a retail shop that's been in business for over 2 years, but we haven't built our business credit yet. Would we still be eligible for a loan if we meet all other requirements?
Yes.
Were you able to hear that?
Looking at all of it. So if your business credit is not quite there yet, just because you haven't established it or haven't had to use it, we'll look at your personal credit as well. So definitely reach out to us, and I'm going to give you some information on our business development officer a little bit later on, Brian Shiley, and you can go ahead and contact him directly. He'd be happy to help you with that.
A couple more questions are popping in. It says, why might you choose the state loan option over the initial one you talked about?
It really depends. So if you're working with a bank and the bank says, yes, this would be a good product for you, the state loan guarantee, then you'd go with that. And the direct lending, you'd come directly to us to get the money. So say you need a loan for $250,000, and in the county that we're currently working in, we're maxed out at 50 or 150, then you may go with another bank. With another lender or a bank that's able to help you to get the funds that you're requesting, the larger amount of funds. So that might be a reason. Or our lending terms are a little bit more lenient than the banks are. So you're going to go with us instead.
Okay, perfect. And then another question is all funding for just Northern California? Question mark.
Right now, just Northern California. I did see somebody a little bit out of the area, but with the state loan guarantee, that is in California. So if you're working with a bank that works with the state guarantee program, you possibly could would work with them to do that.
Okay, I didn't see anything else pop up in the chat right now.
Perfect, thank you. And sorry, Sarah, I'm not
Mhm.
sure why on my screen I'm not able to link into the chat right now.
No worries.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Well, now let's go over know your credit. So somebody had just asked about business credit. Now that you don't necessarily have to have business credit, but if it does come in during the check and there's an issue, then you need to get that also satisfied. So you have to get that, cleared up if it's if it's a bad credit. So knowing your credit, know your FICO score. So we don't have a minimum, but we do look at your credit history. And the FICO score and history kind of goes hand in hand. So when you're looking at your credit report, the credit score is calculated from credit being reported by the people that you're getting credit from, right? So factors also include how much you owe on personal and or business accounts, balances on these accounts compared to your credit that's available, payment history, do you have any lates, any collections, any bankruptcies, provides a really good indication to any lender, including ourselves, of how likely you, the business, are going to be able to repay the loan. Now, when you're getting your credit report, and you can get a free credit report, and you can get it at annualcreditreport.com. This way you can keep track of it. It doesn't give you a score, but it does tell you what's going on with your credit. So, if you checked it and somebody else has happened to use your credit, then you can stop that right away. You know about it right away. And it also doesn't hit your credit scores. So this is a soft pull is what they say. And so it does not affect your credit score. So you want to review this. So are there any mistakes there? If there are, get them cleared up. Can the credit bureau, contact the credit bureau in writing to be able to do this? And they tell you exactly how to do this on that report that you receive. And then keep copies of all these letters and correspondence in case your lender requests it, because they're seeing what happened in the past. And you do have these letters, so you can evidence, hey, yes, this was an issue. Somebody stole my identity, or I returned the phone, or whatever it is, and I have all the documents to show that, or I paid it, those types of things. So just so that you have a folder for all of your credit information. And if the credit report is correct, but there are still issues or high balances, then make payments current. Reduce the amount of debt if possible. I know it's easier said than done, but try to reduce it to 30% or less, or start with one credit card, get that down to 30% or less, or pay it off. This will increase your score significantly and pretty fast. Work with a credit repair agency to help you. Now, there are some free agencies like here, Operation Hope. It's operationhope.org. They will help you through the process, but they really keep you on track. So, when they give you homework to do, they really require you to complete your homework and make sure that you get it done on a timely manner. So maybe some people really need that because they're so busy, or you're just putting on the back burner, but they're going to help assist you to keep track and get this all cleared up in a timely manner. So I think that's great. And I sat in on one of their presentations and they did a great job. Now, your business plan and cash flow projections. This sounds a little scary, I'm sure, to a lot of people, because you're expecting has to be so many pages in your business plan, and we're going to dig more into that in a little bit. But seek guidance. You're here at the Women's Business Center. There's so much guidance here. There's information. There's something that you can just plug and play as well. And I believe Sarah, it's on our website, and then Sarah can also, if she hasn't already, she usually does, she puts it in the chat, so that way you have access to it. Now you can use that service too, or you can use other services also online to be able to do that. But reach out to the WBC or to the SBDC, who is also under our umbrella. So these are great resources that you have, and they're at no cost to you. So please seek guidance, and you don't have to do any of this by yourself. Now, in a business plan, it is one of the most critical documents in the loan application for a startup company or an expansion company. But it does not have to be 20, 30, 40 pages long, 10 pages long. It does not have to be that long. We really want you to know your business, everyone that reads it, and we want you to be able to explain it clearly, but you don't have to use 10 pages to be able to do that. You can just get straight to the point, and I will give you some highlights on what should be on that business plan. So the business plan guides us and you through each stage of starting and managing your business. It's a roadmap for us and also for you on how you're going to structure, manage, and also grow your business. It can help to secure funding or bring new business partners on as well. So these are, two avenues that you can use this for. It's also a tool to convince people to loan you money to work with you. Now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of what should be in a business plan. And this is high overview of what you should have in there. Of course, you can include other things, but these are the things that we really, really want to see. And I say this because even if when I read business plans now, and I used to be an underwriter and I used to do other things during the whole loan process, we want to be really concise about what it is that you're saying in here. The other thing is you want to make sure that you understand your business, because sometimes it seems that it's unclear, not only to you, but then it'll also be unclear to us on why this business, why now, and why you. Also a market analysis. So who is your target market? And then who's your competition? I would say you should be able to do this business plan, hopefully in a month, if you give yourself time on a weekly basis. And this is your homework. You're working a couple of hours on this, because the target market and the analysis and also competition may take a little bit of time, because you're going to have to do some footwork or go out there and look at all of this information. And then organization and management. So how are you going to staff this? Is it just going to be you? Is it going to be you and another person? The experience of the other person, the experience that you have. We'll also, throw in the resumes in with your business plan so we can see who's going to be running this business. And then detailed information on your industry experience. So say, I was working for a daycare, and I worked there for 5 years, for 3 years, and now I want to open up my own daycare service. And I have the experience because I've worked there for 3 years, and I'm taking that experience and knowledge, and I'm going to open up my own business. And what I've learned from them is A, B, C, and D. And what I'll do differently, or maybe you won't do anything differently, is A, B, C, and D. And the reason is because I've seen this would help efficiencies. This would, better the children. This would do this, those different types of things. The car service for the folks that, for the person that is going to drive around the elderly. I'm going to get a minivan that's, accessible to all individuals. So that way I can drive around all different types of persons to their medical appointments. I can also do this and that. So what are you going to be doing? And then how are you going to do it? Are you going to be different than others? What experience do you have? Those types of things. So that's what we really want in there. And why this business? So why do you want to open up this business? Do you see that it's just a really great moneymaker? You love working with people, those types of things. You love to drive. That's another one too. Some people like truck drivers. I just love to drive. I don't really like working with many people. I just like to drive and get things from A to B. That's fine too. And then service and product line. What is the product or service being offered or provided? Marketing and sales, you want to put that in there too. So how will you attract and return customers? So if you say, I'm going to advertise on Facebook, what does that mean? How exactly are you going to do that? Who are you working with? What is it? What is an example of what you mean by you're going to advertise on Facebook? Those types of things, because we really want you to know up front. And the reason I say this is because I've worked with customers, or I've worked with businesses that say this in their business plan, but when it comes time to actually do it, they don't know how. And it's already, you're behind if you don't already know how, or you haven't already hired somebody to do this, because it does take some know-how to be able to do this and do it really good and consistently, because people are looking for consistency. They want to see updated menus. They want to see updated services every single week. They want to see if there's any specials that week. I do find that also for myself when I'm looking for new, maybe somebody cut my hair, maybe, you know, different things like that, weekly specials, those types of things. And if that stops to happen, then you know that they've let that part go. But that's kind of something that they need to be able to come and visit you or get your service. And then financial projections. If it's an expansion of a business, or I'm sorry, if we need you to explain the revenue and operating expenses. So you need to know where your revenue is going to come from. And then we also need you to know operating expenses. If you're going to open up a space, then you're going to need to know that you're going to need the type of insurance. You're going to need, you know, water, electricity, all those types of things. So that's going to need to be detailed out. And it needs to be on a monthly basis for 24 months. And that's on a startup. The existing business, a 12-month plan is fine. You know, detailed financial projections is what we're going to need for an expansion. It also needs, the assumptions are saying, means a detailed assumptions means, how are you going to get to this point? I need to sell 20 services at $150 each to be able to break even. So that's what you're saying. And I'm going to be able to do that month 1 or month 2 or month 10 because I already have customers, you know, they're coming from, you know, that I'm bringing to the new business, or I'm getting them from, you know, you tell us where you're getting these customers from. Those types of things. We really need you to get into the nitty-gritty in regards to how you believe that you're going to get to your revenue. And then lenders are use the projections when the business is, as I stated, a startup, and a startup is considered anything less than 2 years old. So we're going to need 2 years projection, so 24 months of projections. Making a big change, which will greatly impact the income and expenses. Say you're opening up a new shop, or you're expanding the business, those types of things, or you're recovering from a disaster. Pandemic, fire, or flood, those types of things. Cash flow projections, estimate of money coming in and also money going out of the business. So this is what we're expecting to see on there. Must be reasonable and include detailed notes that explain the basis for the revenue and expenses and assumptions. And I say this because there's also seasonality that goes into play in many businesses. So if you say, I'm going to make $5,000 or $50,000 every single month, that's usually not going to be the case. And I say you are a landscaper. The winter months are slower, so maybe your income is going to be half or a quarter of what it usually is in the summertime and the spring. So you have to look at that, and you have to look in, see, am I going to be able to pay my loan on a monthly basis when seasonality comes into play? And we're going to look at that. And we have a lot of data as well. And we've worked with a lot of different businesses, and lenders have, so they know and they understand the seasonality. And when you're telling us it's $50,000 every month, then we believe, or we know that maybe you haven't looked at it as deeply as you should. So the numbers must make sense to the lender. As I stated before, seek guidance. We're here. The WBC and the SBDC is here to help you. So don't do it by yourself. It gets confusing. I know it does. And it is sometimes difficult. So let the experts help you. You know, we have teams that can, you know, you can get an appointment with and bounce this information around with them. So the basics of your loan request, what you're going to ask the lender. So we've gone through all of that. You have all of that information together. You've got your credit together. You've got your business plan together, your expansion plan together. Or if you're just needing money for equipment, you know, if you're an existing business, you won't need those things. You won't need the business plan. You won't need the expansion plan, and you won't need the projections. But say you're going to buy the piece of equipment and it's going to expand your business, then we're going to want you to kind of look into those things a little bit more. How much money do you need? A lot of people say, well, how much money can I get? That's a great question, but you'll have to be able to qualify for it. And we want you to get the amount of money that you're going to be able to pay back, right? So are you going to buy a piece of equipment? That's what you're using the money for. We need you to be specific. I need to put in some new chairs. I need some new tables in my restaurant, to better the experience for my customers. Okay, great. I'm already making money, but if I got in 5 more tables, I could do so much more, right? You could serve some more people, those types of things. Okay, great. Or if I got another car, I'm transporting people. If I get a second car and second driver, those types of things, you're buying equipment. So we want you to be specific. We want you to tell us what you're going to buy. And you can also, use it for working capital, say money to help for daily expenses like rent, utilities, employees' salaries, and inventory, and etc. And I say employee salaries because we don't expect the money that you borrow to actually pay your salary. That money should be going towards the business itself. Lender's needs list also for a startup business, as I stated before, we're going to need the business plan, we're going to need the resume, we're going to need your industry experience, 2 years, 24 months of projections, a letter of explanation for any for the amount of money that you're requesting, 3 months business and personal bank statements, 2 and 3 years personal and business tax returns, and a personal financial statement will all be needed. And this is just the basics of what will be needed. There could be additional information that's going to be needed in the beginning. And then for existing businesses, you'll need 1 to 3 years of complete business tax returns, year-to-date balance sheet, profit and loss statement, personal financial statements, 3 months of business bank statements, and business debt schedule. So if you have any other debt for the business out there, you need to also divulge that information to us. So for each business partner that owns 20% or more ownership into the business, we'll also need some documentation from you. We'll need a personal financial statement, a complete copy of your personal tax returns, and for either 1 to 3 years, 3 months of personal bank statements, and a copy of your current pay stub if you have one. Now, doing the loan review process, and this is something we do here. I can't guarantee that all lenders do this, but this is pretty similar to what they do as well, is first, even for us, check our website and see what the details are there. We do have pretty detailed information on our website, and most lenders do as well, the ones that I have seen. So just go on their website and kind of feel them out and see what information they're requesting. And so at California Capital, we do a pre-qualification first, where you submit documents requested, and we will let you know exactly what those documents are. What you submit will depend on the stage of business and the amount of money that you're requesting. Be prepared to answer questions. We may have questions in regards to your business or your income, why you need the funds, those types of things up front. Clarify information that we may have, those types of things. And then, so we go from the pre-qualification stage. Yes, we have a loan that is for you. Then we're going to go to the underwriting stage. The underwriter is going to underwrite it, approve the deal or not approve the deal. So the decision is then made. And then we go to closing and funding. Now, these are just some of the items that that we're going to collect at the closing table or funding table. Is proof of insurance, landlord consent waiver form if you're going to be leasing a property or you're already in a property, and then also ACH form. We do direct access payments, so we take payments directly, and a lot of lenders are doing that as well. Some reasons for decline. Lenders may decline a loan request for one or more of these following reasons: lack of industry knowledge, a lack of management or industry experience, poor credit. Many lenders do have a minimum. We do not. Those types of things. They will give you information on why they haven't. Insufficient cash flow, your net profit. So your revenue minus expenses and existing debt is not sufficient to make payments on a new loan, and insufficient collateral. So I'm going to go back to also lack of secondary income for startups. So if you don't have enough income for that startup to satisfy the loan payments, then that will be an issue in regards to approval. And it doesn't have to be just you. So you can use a spouse's income, or you can use, secondary income that way as well. And then please be aware of lending practices. So not all lenders are created equal. Some lending that is done really easy, quick, and fast, those are the ones that you're going to pay the most for, and they will go straight into your bank account every single day and take payments. So just be aware of that. Just because it's fast and easy does not mean it's good. So just read all of your paperwork and make sure that you are doing the right thing for yourself and the business. Protect yourself by learning how to recognize unfair practices. Watch out for receiving a loan offer that you didn't apply for, high interest rates and fees, and being rushed or pressured to sign loan documents as well. If you don't feel uneasy about it, then you can talk to somebody at the WBC or SBDC as well, or other people that you trust to be able to walk you through that process. So takeaways from today, I know I've given you a ton of information, but as I stated before, you don't have to do this alone. This is just an overview of the things that you'll need to get a loan, ways to get a loan, money to be saved, those types of things. But today, I just want to give you also some takeaways from today after all this information that I've given to you, is to please pull your credit report. And you can pull it through any service that you would like, but annualcreditreport.com is at no cost, and you can pull it quarterly, and there is no fee, so that you can see exactly what's happening to your credit, and also if what you're doing is working for you, meaning it's minimizing your debt. And then work to increase your credit score. Not only is your a better credit score good for lending, but it's also good if you decide to go and to lease a property. The leasing agent is going to pull your credit. Also, when you go to put water, electricity, all of utilities on, they're going to pull your credit as well. So if the better your credit is, the least you have to pay upfront, meaning your down payment, you won't need a down payment to get electricity and those types of things. So it's going to cost you a little bit less if you can improve your credit beforehand. So if you start working on your credit way before you ask for a loan, it's going to be a betterment for you. Update your business plan and projections annually or semi-annually. When the business changes, business needs change, you should change that as well, because it's a roadmap for you and also for the lender. And review your financials every month for accuracy, your profit and loss statement, your balance sheet, and your bank statements. And I say this because I see it all the time when existing businesses come to us for a loan and they don't know where their money's going. They don't know, when they're looking at their tax returns, what this debt is. So please know exactly where your money is going. And then that way you can control your financing and you know everything about it. And I've also heard people say that they're afraid of it. And don't be. It's just numbers, right? And then you can lower or increase those numbers as well by what you do in your budget. So review your budget, make sure that you have enough money for what's going out compared to what's going in. And that may have to be adjusted monthly, because things are increasing in costs. So maybe you can't have all the channels of that cable station, or you have cable or whatever in your business. And maybe that's something you should go to a different streaming service to lower that cost. It may seem minimal, but at the end of the year, you could save thousands of dollars doing that. It may be minimal to you on a monthly basis, but at the end of the year, it does accumulate to be a positive thing for you. And then get organized, have all your financials in order, and try and get them in one area. That will be really helpful to you. That's it for us today. Here's our contact information. You can sign up at calcap.org or cacapital.org and find all of our information for the WBC, for the loan programs, and also for SBDC. Brian Shiley is our business development officer. He's awesome to work with. This is his information here if you want to take a snapshot right now, or you'll also get this information, emailed to you. You'll get this whole deck emailed to you. Here's some more. And then we have questions. Great. I can see the questions now. It's coming in and out. I'm going to Stop. Let's see. For the state loan guarantee program, F&M Bank is the first one that's coming off the top of my head. We do have a list of others, so you can contact us and we can get that to you. But F&M Bank is off the top of my head one that is local and that could help you. Thank you so much. Well said about budgeting. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you for all being here too. I know this is a lot of information, and sitting here for a while gets a little rough. Okay, perfect. I think I've answered all the questions. I don't know if anybody else has any more questions right now. You can go ahead and put them in the chat. If not, then we can go ahead. I'll stop sharing here. We can go ahead and probably end this a little bit earlier, but you know, if you have anything, thank you so much. I really appreciate it that this is useful and encourage information. I try to give you all the information that I can in a timely manner, not overload you, because I understand it's a lot, and working with businesses for several years now, I understand. And I do feel for you because it's a lot of commitment on time, even before you open up the business. But this is the perfect time to do it on your startups. You can get all of these things done because once you open up that business, you existing business owners, there's no time is very valuable and there's not much of it. Well, perfect.
Thank you, Sunita. Awesome. I think so.
Thank
I
you.
think you answered everything. I was just scrolling through the chat one more time. If you guys didn't get your question answered, the contact info for Brian and Sunita will be in the PowerPoint, or you can always find everything on our website. But I will email this recording and the slide deck over to you guys here shortly. So thank you, everyone. Excuse me. Have a great day. Thank you, Sunita.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye-bye.